Welcome to my channel. I have another Mystery Box Monday video for you. And if you don't know what Mystery Box Monday is, I'll have a link up in the corner. This is where I reach into this box and pull out 3 items. And today I have this little hand of a helper who's going to help me reach into the box. So we take this off screen and we try not to peek in there as we reach in to pull out 3 items. Normally I do this on my own, but she wanted to help me today. So she's trying to wrangle item number 1 out of the box, which she says is rather large. And I'm trying to imagine what could be large in this box. And as she pulls it out, it turns out that it was 2 things stuck together. So we have got this partially used paper pad, and that's why it was kind of sticky, because the binding was exposed. And then there's a die set, and then she's reaching in for item number 3. And there it is. So it is at first I thought it was an alphabet set, but then I start looking at it and it's entirely numbers. So I'm going to go through these items one by one so that you can get a sense of what these are. So this is a Kelly Perky number sticker set, and it's actually a Simon Says stamp product, and that's where this mystery box is from. Now, I will say, like I do each episode, that the supplies in this box typically are discontinued from Simon Says stamp, and they may be available other places, and if I find that is true, I can find a link for you and put it in the show notes. But if there aren't any links to these things, it's because I just can't find them anymore. And so this die set from Simon Says stamp is like a cat and a dog, and it's got some dies on there that seem really usable right away, like a couple of hearts stuck together and a little bow. So I think I might go for those first. Now I'm looking at this paper pad, and this is when I realized that it's a partial pad, and that I believe this is a Pebbles product. I had a kit a while back where I used some of these pattern papers, and I believe it was Pebbles, so I'll link you to that kit video, and you can take a look. Of course, I think those papers were discontinued when I made the kit, so they're probably long gone by now. So those are the 3 items we've got to work with for making one project. And I got inspired by the numbers, actually. I was like, what am I going to do with a bunch of numbers? And the clearest thing that came to mind was, a birthday, and numerating the number of a birthday. So I have somebody in mind who's turning 13, and I start pulling out colors from this paper pad that I think will work for this project. This person is a cat fan, so that cat die will work very nicely. And I want to keep the colors less pink because she is not necessarily a pink kind of person. So I'm going to go with more of the darker neutral colors in this pad, and then I'm going to choose a brown for the cat because that's a natural cat color, right? I'm just prepping the card base from the paper pad in this kit, and because it's a single-sided paper, that is working perfectly, because then the inside of my card will be white for writing the greeting on. So I just build a card from this 6x6 paper pad by cutting the paper down to the 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch measurement, and of course you're not going to get a full card, so I fill in the rest with a sheet of coordinating paper. And then I turned to that die set, and I pulled out the kitty, and I pulled out the little sunglasses and the little scarf. The kitty, I think, also has like a skirt or something like that, but because I'm not trying to go for a really girly look, I wanted to go something more cool, and you'll see that kind of come up when I embellish the page at the end. And I wanted the sunglasses to be black, but there was no more black in that paper pad, so I decided to peel up what I've worked on with this card base and cut a strip of that black off. And then since I cut more paper strips to add to this, I was already ready to go with kind of covering up that mistake with these extra strips of paper. And it was in the plan anyway, so it worked fine to make that black strip a little bit smaller. So I'm going to use it to work on these little sunglasses for my kitty. And this little die cut machine is a We Are Memory Keepers product, and I won this at a scrap event, and I've really liked using it. It's so convenient to just have it right next to my desk and to just pop out a few quick die cut pieces, and it's been a really good little machine for me, so I would recommend checking that out. And I'll find a link for that and I'll put it in the show notes. So I am just continuing to work through this paper and putting all these pieces together. I want another contrasting color against the black glasses and the brown kitty, so I go with something with a white tone. And I pop up the sunglasses with some foam dots, and I just glue the scarf straight down to the kitty, and I give it a little dimension by flipping up the end of the scarf. So I am going to start putting my embellishments onto the front of the card. Now, this stamp set I had pulled out from a previous Mystery Box Monday kit, and it happens to have a happy birthday greeting in there, so that worked out just fine. Of course, I have birthday stamps in my set, but since it was part of another mystery kit, I thought that was very fitting to use it. And I just stamped it in some black ink onto this creamy grid paper, and the grid actually has blue, so it matches the blue of the letters, so I thought that worked really nicely to tie that blue in with the rest of the project. And so I'm just adding my greeting there, and I'm kind of flipping up the edges of this banner to give it some more texture and dimension. And I'm going to assemble all the pieces together, and then I add a little bit of journaling, or not journaling, sorry, just a little bit of pen work to finish up the greeting. And so I add a TH to 13th, and then I add down at the bottom to one cool cat. And so that finishes off my project for this time. I will leave you with a couple of close-ups of this card. I gave the kitty a little extra dimension by flipping up his ears and his tail, and as you can see, my cool cat quote is very appropriate for this card. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you will join me next time for another Mystery Box Monday. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and get notifications for my future videos.